honestly probably be best if you just didn't ask what was going on my face, because I'm not 100% sure either. Here are some things that I meant to say in the beginning of this video, but never did because I'm an idiot. Number 1, I will leave all the timestamps down below to the books that I mention because some do contain spoilers, and I will make sure to let you know down there as well if they do contain spoilers. And number 2, these are my opinions. If I shit on your favorite book or don't like your favorite book, it is not a personal attack. It is just my opinion. Yeah. Hi guys, my name is Sakana and welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel. I just realized that I have some end of the year videos that need to be done and a very limited time to do them. It is January 10th when I'm filming this, and I still have to do my favorite and least favorite. So these are my worst books of 2019. That's what I'm doing today. My worst books. Because I want to do my worst books first. Honestly, I read more bad books I shouldn't say that. 2019 was a weird reading year for me. I read over 100 books. I've read a lot. However, I didn't read a lot that I just genuinely head over heels loved. I have a list of my favorite books of 2019, and I don't know that all of them are going to be added to my favorites of all time list. Like, we will see. So, these are my least favorites. Let me look. I have 7 least favorite books of 2019. I originally was going to do also disappointing, but I didn't. I don't have time to do disappointing, surprising, best, and worst. So we're just going to toss in my top most disappointing. Let's mix this around, because this is not in the correct order. And did I put these in the right order? 1 minute. I thought I had done actually in order list, but I didn't. So we're winging this. I think my phone list is pretty. Yeah. Pretty accurate. Okay, so we're gonna start off with some honorable mentions. So a lot of these honorable mentions were more disappointing than they were worst. However, like, the most disappointing one that I hit this year, why did I do that? The most disappointing book that I read this year was borderline on my worst list. So, where do I even start? King of Fools by Amanda Foody disappointed me so much. I loved the book, the first book, second book, not good. Don't like the ending, didn't like either of the two of the 3 main characters. I didn't like at all. But there was only one main character that had a POV that I enjoyed in the least. So, boom, you're out. Let's just jump to my, number 1 honorable mention of worst book of 2019, and that is, sadly, The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo by Taylor Jenkins Reid. This book is so hyped up in the booktube community. It is so many people's favorite book. Like, so many people read it in 2019. They're like, it's my favorite book of 2019. Or like 2018, 2017, whatever. I did not like it. I thought that a lot of the things that people found interesting about it were contradictory. I thought that her main relationship, like, if you've read it, you know her main relationship, I thought it was kind of just as bad as a lot of her marriages. Not, obviously not some of them, but others, yeah, it was not, it just wasn't as good. I don't think they truly treated each other as, like, they should have treated each other. I just feel like Evelyn Hugo as a character doesn't know how to treat people well. And it shows. And, like, I'm not throwing shade because I did enjoy Daisy Jones a little bit more, but Daisy Jones is Evelyn Hugo. They are the same. They are almost the same. No tea, no shade. They are very similar. And I think Taylor Jenkins Reid was like, oh, I had some success with this one character being kind of bitchy and not knowing how to treat people. How about I do it again? So, I don't know. It didn't sit well with me. I did finish it. It was interesting. It just wasn't great. Now we're getting on to my actual list. My number 6 book of worst books of 2019 was The Hating Game by Sally Thorne, and I actually have some notes on my phone about this one. Oh, I have one. Her nipples pinch a lot in this book, and I don't know how this is fucking anatomically possible for them to pinch on their own, but okay. It was really a cliche book. It felt like the hate to love was almost cruel at some points. Like, it hit a wall for me that was like, as much as I love the hate to love trope, like, this is just too much. We're hitting the too much. We need to back off. A line has been crossed. We're not doing this anymore. And it just, I don't know. For everyone building it up to be such a sexy book, it took until, like, the very end for there to be a sex scene. I wasn't jazzed about that. I was like, it's a smut book. It's not, so don't go into it expecting it to be like sex in chapter 2, because you won't get that. They don't have actual sex until the very end, and there is, like, one dry humping scene in the middle. And there's this whole, like, he's always liked her, and it's like an unrequited love. He doesn't know how to display his feelings. I also guessed the whole wedding thing. If you've read it, you know the wedding thing. I guessed that. And like I said previously, like, me guessing things is kind of a recipe for me not liking the book as much. So, yeah. My number 5 book of worst books of 2019 was Did I Mention I Love You by Estelle Mascom. I actually read this book for what was it, like, 2 books with the same concept, which I will leave, like, linked up in the cards and down in the description below. It just wasn't good. It hit that, like, bad boy, good girl trope that I'm not a huge fan of. And I think I mentioned this in my, like, 2 book same concept, that she has or had an eating disorder. And it's not expressed as such. It's expressed as, this was bad, but we don't talk about the fact that it was a fucking eating disorder. We just talk about the fact that someone made her feel bad about herself, so she starved herself. Or, like, didn't eat. And it wasn't, And I also figured out that step siblings are not my type of thing to read about. I'm not a huge fan of the whole step sibling dynamic. So, I mean, that's really all I have to say about that one. Number 4 is After by Anna Todd. And I mentioned, like I said in that other video, that Did I Mention I Love You, or maybe it was my wrap-up, one of the two, that Did I Mention I Love You was like a baby horror version of After. But After was worse. The whole basis of After, like the whole reason they get together, just terrible. Absolute terrible. Hardin is a terrible person. I don't get it with this kink of bad boys that read. I genuinely don't understand it. I really don't. Because maybe it's just the fact that I'm like, I know in real life I would prefer a soft boy. But like, to have this disrespectful, basically abusive dude. He had an abusive father. Almost always has an abusive father. And he loves his mother, but he's not with her for some reason. Because he doesn't know how to adequately show his affection towards any woman, especially a woman he is courting for whatever fucking reason. Oh, because he has an abusive dad. But all of this disrespect, this abuse, this like cruelty that he shows people is all absolved by the fact that he reads. He reads Jane Austen, so he's not that bad. He knows Pride and Prejudice. He knows that, and he's gonna make a reference to your love story based on Pride and Prejudice. How y'all don't like each other. Fuck that, man. Fuck that. If you're gonna be such a fucking dick all the time, I don't even care. I'll be a dick back. I won't care if you read. We're not doing this. This is not how humans act. This is not how a decent human acts. And you are not a decent human because you fucking read Jane Austen and have it, or going for an English degree. That's not how that fucking works. We're just gonna not right now. I'm getting so worked up about this. So I'm just gonna move on after not the best book. Number 3, A Darker Shade of Magic by V.E. Schwab. I expected a lot from V.E. Schwab. This is the first V.E. Schwab book I've ever read. I was expecting a lot. Nothing happened. Nothing happened throughout the entire book. One thing happened, actually. I fixed that. One thing happened. He got this black gem that he had to take back. Other than that, nothing happened. Nothing. It was like a 10-hour audiobook for one thing to fucking happen. It was a waste of my time. Kel, as a character? What the fuck? He's about as interesting as a piece of fucking moldy bread. He is not interesting at all. And Delilah, oh my fucking god, Delilah. Everyone's like, oh, I would fucking fuck Delilah Bard because she's like one of the best fucking characters. What the fuck? What's up with that? Delilah fucking Bard is like, what I was saying about Hardin Scott, she's a fucking piece of shit. She is mean. If I'm remembering correctly, I'm pretty sure she was a fucking bitch. And like, I'm all for a bitchy character, but if you're gonna have a bitchy character, have her be redeeming in some sense whatsoever. Don't just give me a character that's bitchy for the sake of being bitchy and expect me to fucking want to eat her pussy out. Like, that's not how this fucking works. I didn't like any of the characters except for like Red? I don't even fucking know his name, the prince. And I felt like, I can't remember what fucking London it was, but the one that the R dude, the bisexual dude, that one, the king and queen of that one were basically fucking controlling Kel. I don't know, I'm not continuing on. I'm usually a completionist when it comes to series, even if I don't like them. However, this one is just not. It felt very complete at the end, like he got this shit done. I don't see how anything else needs to happen in this series. I don't. Fucking not great characters. No plot. Setting is stupid. Like, it is such a great idea, but not portrayed in any way that is enticing at all. Fuck. I did not like this book. And the thing is, this isn't even the book I hated the most. This is the third most. Okay, I don't have anything. Let's just move on. Maybe I'll just get less worked up about this one. Number 2 is Aristotle and Dante Discover the Secrets of the Universe by Benjamin and Lear Sanez. I listened to the audiobook and I read it only for Lin-Manuel Miranda. I think the best part of this book was hearing Lin-Manuel Miranda say, I sure as hell don't want to study Alexander Hamilton. Now let me find it on my phone, because I screen recorded that shit, because I needed that in my life.
I sure as hell don't want to study Alexander Hamilton.
That is the only part that I cared about in this book whatsoever! Everyone's like, Dante's such a fucking quirky, cute character. I didn't care about him at all! The only quirky thing about him was that he was barefoot half the time, and guess what, bitches? Am I quirky too? Am I quirky now? Fuck, I didn't get it. And like, the one thing I remember is fucking Dante asking about masturbation. Who the fuck does that? With someone you're not like, at that point they weren't, at that point they had known each other for like one summer. And they obviously fucking weren't that close. Because Aristotle got so fucking pissed off about it. And I'm like, both ends of that conversation were bad. Because it's like, why would you ask about that? But also, don't be a bitch. I didn't like either of the main characters in this book at all. Aristotle, Ari, fucking dick! But I think there's a fucking trend with books I didn't like this year, and that is a dick main character. But he was a fucking dick to everyone. And I feel like we're trying to make it for the sense of like, oh, he's teenage angsty. And I was like, I was a fucking angsty teenager, but I was not that bitchy. I was not. I was fucking emo. I was not that much of a bitch. I have never met someone in real fucking life that treats people like that and is going through that fucking little. I understand he probably has like some kind of mental illness, but like, I know someone whose father died of cancer and whose mother was diagnosed with breast cancer a year later, and she is not that fucking bitchy. Her brother is not that much of a dick. Learn how the fuck to treat people. Oh my god. And like, all of a sudden, they're friends, and then all of a sudden they're like, oh, they've been in love this entire fucking time. No! No! Well, there's been absolutely nothing to insinuate that these two are in love. This, to me, was a terrible dude with this other, like, weird fucking idiot kind of forming some semblance of a friendship. And now you're trying to tell me that they're fucking in love? No, and I understand that everyone's like, it's a queer book. I understand. It's a fucking queer book. I like that it's queer POC. I understand that. And I think someone, if you are okay... Also, nothing fucking happened throughout this entire fucking book. Nothing. The biggest event was him getting hit by a car. And that took up, what, 20 minutes of the audiobook? Anyway, if you just like character development and you think you might like these characters and you want to read a LGBTQP+ book, I just skipped over a bunch of letters, I'm so sorry. If you want to read like an LGBT asterisk book and with POC main characters and you think you would like these characters and you're okay with a very character driven story, I think this might be the book for you. It just fucking wasn't the book for me. And now we make it to number 1 on the list. The book I hated the absolute most in 2019. What book did I hate the absolute most in 2019? The Last of August by Brittany Cavallaro. I read this book pretty early on in the year. And the shittery has stuck with me. Not all of it. I don't remember specific details or anything. And you know what? I think I might just pull up my Goodreads review to get some extra leverage for this. But I know I fucking hated the shit out of Jamie Watson. I hate Jamie Watson. I feel bad because I know so many people fucking love Jamie Watson. But I also don't feel bad because he's a piece of shit. He's a fucking piece of garbage as a person! Oh my god! Fucking garbage people. By the way, we've been talking about this for my camera battery is flashing at me. I don't think I have an extra battery. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Anyway, fucking garbage human being Jamie Watson. No. You don't treat people like... Here's the thing. All throughout this fucking series, we're supposed to believe that these two are supposed to get together. Like, they're having a romance. What this is Jamie is projecting his idea of the ideal Charlotte Holmes onto Charlotte, and that is how he describes her. She is like a fever dream of what he wants in a woman. And it's only because he lets himself think that that's what's happening. He is not grounded in reality. Oh my god. He's not fucking grounded in reality at all. At all. He's like completely overtaken by his idea of this woman, of this girl. And then he gets mad when she breaks out of the box that he put her in. The entire ending of the series, this isn't even book 2. The entire ending of the series pissed me off because this exact thing fucking happened. She's grown as a person, grown outside of what he idealized her to be, and then he's pissy because she grew as a fucking person. Because she showed some basic human actions of growing, and he got pissy about it! I'm sorry for all the yelling in this video. I'm just very not happy with this book, and most of these books. But Jamie fucking Watson. And the fact that he blames her for so fucking much that isn't her fault. Like, is it her fucking fault that her feelings are like hijacking her fucking brain and being like, you fucking like this dude? You don't like Jamie? You like this other dude? No, it's not her fucking fault. Stop fucking acting like she is just saying to her brain, don't like Jamie, like this other dude. Stop being a fucking cock of a person. Oh my god. Oh my fucking god. I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. I'm gonna leave these books in 2019. Let's bring in some more pissy books to piss me the fuck off. Anyway, so that was my worst books of 2019. Again, I'm sorry. I apologize for all the yelling. I didn't even need to bring up that review because I just got really pissy and decided that it would be best for my mental health state to calm down, start packing to go back to school, and get some Chipotle. So those are my worst books of 2019. I'm gonna go get some Chipotle. I'm gonna come down from whatever the fuck this is, and let me know down in the comments below what your least favorite books of 2019 were, what you thought of these books, if you read these books in 2019, if you read these books prior, if you're planning on reading them in 2020, like all those deets, let me know down in the comments below. And as always, make sure to like and subscribe, and you know, I'll see you in my next video, I guess. Bye!